I have just arrived in one of the most controversial cities in the world, a city that has impacted all of our lives and a city that we all know the name of. Right now, I'm at Ground Zero, the seafood market where it all apparently started. But with so many stories and so much negativity of this city, I want to find out what it's really like. We've got 24 hours to find out the truth. Let's get going. And this is the seafood market, Ground Zero, if you believe the reports. It's closed down. You can see a little bit of activity. There's some people up there. I'm not even going to try. You can only imagine what would happen if I walk up there, especially with a camera. But there's a board here saying that it has closed and that it's moved location from the Huinan group. It was the Huinan seafood market where the world turned upside down, or at the very least, this city is Ground Zero for where the world turned upside down, depending on what you want to believe, on how it started. And it's a little surreal being here, seeing the market, especially when you put into context the impact it's had on all of us. But I'm completely sure this city is not all about this. So let's jump in a taxi, head to the hotel, and let's get going. Well, my first thought is it's cold. A whole new level of cold for me. And what better to eat when it's cold than dumplings? So I've come to a dumpling restaurant, and actually, I thought they were going to be pre-made, but she's making them here to order. Tomato soup dumplings are super famous here in Wuhan, so why not on my first night? I cannot wait. So she's definitely got more skills than me. Oh wow, how pretty. All right, and the filling. Ah, with a little bit of tomato. Now I see. A little bit of tomato paste and fresh tomato goes in, and then she just folds it up. And then they'll go into the steam basket, and then straight into the steamer where they're gonna steam, and into the steam basket. So pretty, so delicate, so much pride in it as well. Proper family affair. Uncle, the mum, the kids. And now they're ready for the steamer. Oh, you can see how they puff up when they're cooked. Got a huge vat of water underneath. And then mine go on. What a start, what a lovely start in Wuhan. I mean, I've only been here 20 minutes. We have the kids. Ni hao. Hello. High five. And again. And again. Ah. All right, they're ready. How good do they look? You can see the tomato is just poking out the top of them. They've definitely expanded in size. And then we have the dipping sauce. Shredded ginger and black vinegar. Not soy sauce, don't be fooled. It's black vinegar. That's what you dip the soup dumplings into. I cannot wait. However, I've done something a little stupid. In my rush to come out and find food, I left the bottom of the tripod in the bag. So we're gonna have to improvise and try and use my backpack as a stand. How is this going to work? It may not be perfect. She told me, be careful, they're very hot. I mean, I think that will be an understatement. What you need to do is pick up your dumpling, and you need to eat them hot, and you need to eat them quick. And then you break a little hole. Oh my God. Break a little hole in it and suck the soup out from the dumpling. Oh, wow. And then when you're done with that, dip it in the sauce and shove it in the gob. I've eaten quite a few soup dumplings before now. In Din Tai Fung, you saw, they're maybe the best soup dumplings I've ever had. And with that tomato, it's so good because it's so rich, it's so savory, and then that tomato comes through. Ah, You could tell, right? You could tell it's made with love, it's made with care, it's a family affair. But I didn't think they were going to be that good. Wow. Oh. They're addictive. I mean, I might even order another one, to be honest. It's that good. All right, I'm back at the hotel now, and the hotel actually has a craft beer bar as part of it, which is pretty cool. And when you arrive, you get 2 beer vouchers to try the craft beer. Very, very nice. Didn't expect that. Nice touch. It's really pretty in there. Very, very nice. So I'm gonna have a couple of beers, enjoy the evening, and those dumplings, oh my God. I still have the flavor. I've walked home, obviously, to the hotel. I've dropped my bag, I've come down, I've had a few sips of beer, and I can still taste those dumplings. But for me, it was the interaction and the off-camera interaction, actually, because you can't film it, it's not natural. But whilst it was cooking, translating, chatting, and just having a laugh together, and then the kids, messing around with the kids and making them laugh, and it was just very, very nice. What an experience to come for my first evening. It couldn't have got off to a better start. Good food, perfect food on an evening like this. Warm soup, dumplings, but oh my, were they good. And then just the friendliest interaction of all the friendly interactions that I've had in China. So cheers, guys. Cheers to Wuhan. It's a good start. Let's see how we get on tomorrow. Going to explore and find more food, of course, but see what Wuhan has to offer. And yeah, just get a proper feel for this place. But it started off pretty well. Oh, and good beer. Good morning from Wuhan. Early morning, 8 o'clock. I slept very well in that hotel, very well, dreaming of those dumplings all night. But I'm up and I'm out early. Not for breakfast, as you might expect, because when you have an incredibly popular tourist site in a city, you tend to need to get there early to beat the crowds. So I'm up to visit this. You can see in the end, it's called the Yellow Crane Tower. Probably the most popular tourist site in Wuhan. So I think it's worth getting up early and visiting. But as you would expect, just like any other town or city, definitely a city, 14 million people in China, people are just getting up, getting on with their day, going to work, catching the buses. Very calm, very pleasant. And I say again, we're on a busy road, but you can't hear a thing because of the electric cars. One of the things I love about being in these cities is how quiet and how peaceful it is. But I was just reflecting on something last night when I got into bed, on how strange it is to be here and my first experience being so warm and so friendly. Not that I expected any different. I mean, why would you expect any different? But there's been so much negativity and bad representation in the media of this city that inevitably, well, for example, when I told people I was coming here, there were a lot of narrow-minded comments, let's say. And then to start with, one of the best interactions that I've had in China so far is just it's quite a contrast to how people think of this place. But who knows? Who knows what's going on here? We're going to find out today. We have today to explore. I'll see you guys at the tower. Ni hao, 1 ticket, please.
1 ticket 是吧？17 yuan.
Okay. Ticket in hand, 70 yuan. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive. I'm sure it'll be worth it. But coming into parks, because you come to a park, you don't just come to the tower. Coming into the parks in the morning, you get to see the locals exercising and doing their stuff. We've got, come on, we've got games over here. Oh, I tried this in Chengdu. It's not easy, so they're quite good. In fact, they're very good. They've done this before. You also have a little bit of Tai Chi. Sometimes you have dancing, but today we have a little bit of Tai Chi. I love this. We won't disturb them because we're not here for that. We're here to go into the Yellow Crane Tower Park, and this is the entrance. But turn around. That's a bit of a contrast, isn't it? Old style. I don't even know what this is called, to be honest, but old style structure, and then the apartment buildings in the background. Welcome to modern day China. You find this everywhere, and I love this contrast. There it is, the Yellow Crane Tower. Bit of a stunner, isn't it? Perched there on top of the hill. I must admit though, this bell, it's meant to be struck for peace and good luck. Oh, it's tempting, isn't it? If it wasn't chained, can you imagine a bell that size? We already start to get some of the views of the city, but I think we'll save them from at the top of the tower because you can climb to the top. So that's what we're gonna do. Get inside the tower and climb to the top. But it's very nice. I came through the east entrance and then strolled down. About a 5-minute walk through the park, hearing the birds. Very pretty. The closer you get, the more pretty it gets. A bit like me really, isn't it? Inside Yellow Crane Tower, and you come into this entrance hall with the stunning mural, tiled mural, maybe, of, I guess, the story behind the Yellow Crane Tower. Now, of course, there's a story behind this place. I'm not going to say I know it off by heart, but I did look it up, so I'm going to quickly read it out to you now. It says, a long time ago, a small tavern stood where the Yellow Crane Tower is today. It was owned by a kind-hearted man named Xin. He made a living selling wine. One day, a mysterious Taoist monk came into the tavern but had no money to pay for a drink, and instead of turning him away, Xin gave him a free drink every day for months. To show his gratitude, the monk drew a yellow crane on the tavern wall and said, "This is no ordinary crane." Magically, the crane came to life. It danced for customers, attracting crowds, and made Xin's tavern the most famous tavern in Wuhan. 10 years later, the monk returned. He rode the crane into the sky, disappearing forever. And that story, it's quite a cool story, that story is depicted in this mural. Sure, you can come to this place and not know that story, but I think it's nice to understand that story when you come to places like this, or the stories behind places like this. Whether you believe it or not, I happen to think they're always true, aren't they? Made it to the top, or at least as high as you're allowed to go, and you have the views of the city. And Wuhan is a huge city, 14 million people. That's more than London. It's a massive, massive city, a transport hub in China, and has been a transport hub for thousands of years due to its location on the Yangtze and the Han rivers confluence. But the skyline views are stunning because now it is also a financial hub as well as a transport hub. And you can see the large office buildings over here, as well as this stunning tower. Can you see it? It's a bit hazy. It's a little bit misty out there, but you can kind of see it over there, and then the bridges along the river. It didn't take very long to get up here. The views are amazing, actually, and I love coming up to places like this and seeing the views. I did see a video where someone complained the entire time that it was 70 yuan, which is less than $10. It's £7. I mean, it's not that expensive, to be honest. Not like they won't be making that back in the video though, will they? All right, enough. Look, for locals, this place is absolutely steeped in cultural significance. It's one of the most famous towers in China. It's featured in poems and artworks for hundreds of years, thousands of years. It's been in this place in one form or another for 1,800 years. 1,800 years, and I say in one form or another because inevitably it's been destroyed and burnt down many times. And I think this one was broadly built in 1985, so not quite as old as what you expect. A bit older than me, but not that much. Hello.
Hello, excuse me.
He speaks English. Can you excuse me? I would like to take a photo with you. Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
你好.
你好，你好，来拍一张。
All right, let's take a photo.
这样，
This way. All right. He's too tall.
I'm hide. OK。
Okay. Nice to meet you. Shishir. No problem. Oh, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Oh, what a skyline now. I think it's worth it just for the skyline views. Forgetting the significance of the temple and the beauty, of the tower and the beauty of the tower. Those views, they're stunning. Even on a misty day. It was meant to be raining today, but it's not. It's a bit cloudy, a little bit of blue sky, so I'll take that. Anyway, you can't skip breakfast forever. So let's go eat one of the most popular dishes for breakfast in Wuhan.
我中文的，我中文。
你好。
你好。你说话。
在这吃。
To here, yeah. Breakfast time, guys. I am absolutely starving. I'm looking forward to this one. One of the top 10 noodle dishes in China, rugenmian, hot and dry noodles. Everything. Always go for everything. Just order what the locals have. There's spicy stuff. And can I have a soy? One of these. Okay. Shishir. All right, ignore the building site. It's going to be making some noise, but not everything is perfect in the world. But look how good these noodles look. Hot and dry noodles, as I said, super, super simple. Wheat noodles and a sesame sauce. No soup, no broth in there like you see in so many noodles in China, but it's one of the most iconic dishes in Wuhan. Eaten at breakfast time, absolutely everywhere by everyone, so you need to try it if you're in Wuhan. Besides the noise and talking in between the banging, the hardest thing is going to be using the chopsticks with these cold hands. But the first thing to do is get them all mixed up. Oh, I can't use the chopsticks. But get them all mixed up and get that sauce covered on those noodles. The banging isn't doing my head in, but talking in between it and trying to film is. So let me try and pick up some of these with my cold hands and tell you how they are. The smell of the sesame. Just look at the color that those have gone as I've tossed that sauce through it. Yes. Wow, they are tasty. You have the spicy kick, but the sesame is so savory, it's so interesting. Very different to the noodles that I've been eating in Chengdu and Chongqing. But wow, for someone who loves noodles, and I absolutely love noodles, especially dry noodles, they're so good. And the soy milk, 2 yuan, so 7 yuan in total, that's not even $1, that's crazy, is hot. Perfect, what a breakfast. Now I think they've stopped, they can leave me in peace. Our builders are always on breaks, right? And I've got cars hooting and people going past on bikes with speakers. Fun and games here, guys. Such a good breakfast. All right, let's take the bowl back. Let's be nice. Shishir. Shishir, bye-bye. Oh, that was good. I think I'd be there every morning if I lived in Wuhan. Right, let's get away from this building site. What's next? Whoa. She's got a good voice. Just on the street, in the middle of, not in the middle of nowhere, but just next to the road, on the main road, a random band, I guess they're practicing, but that's quite cool. I thought I'd come and show you the skyline. But also, the Yangtze River is so crucial to the economic development in this part of China. It needs a little more airtime. We've got the bridges. I mean, there are a number of bridges here. I don't know how many, and I don't know which is the first, and I don't know which is the most famous. But this one has the road on top and the train down below. The red one down there looks stunning, absolutely stunning, but look at that skyline. And it kind of gives you the perspective of how big Wuhan is, but not really. It doesn't even show you the half of it, to be honest. It is an absolutely ginormous, sprawling city, 14 million people, but it's so vast, especially compared to other cities which I've been in. Like Chengdu didn't feel vast. It was, but it didn't feel it. Chongqing looked vast, of course, but it was because it was hilly. A lot of it was on top of each other, whereas Wuhan is just this sprawling mega city. But this river is special. It was crucial to the economic development of obviously this area, but also cities all along here, like Shanghai, the longest river in China. Just imagine the trade, the people, the stories along this river, the history along this river, and now we're stood here today, looking at it. All right, I'm just on my way to the next spot. It's actually a touristy spot, a historic neighborhood, my favorite in China. But I'm just passing through a more residential, less touristy place. I guess a little local high street, and I thought I'd show you it. What a local high street looks like in China, what a local high street looks like in Wuhan. Not that weird or any of the other things that you'd like to say. Ni hao. Friendly people going about their day, very clean, very nice, nothing hiding, none of the comments that you guys make about Wuhan. Just a nice place to stroll. Tree-lined streets. Didn't expect in such a big city so many tree-lined streets. I mean, you could be in Paris, right? Maybe not, but you get the point. But in Wuhan, what I've noticed is you're never far from food. In China, you're never far from food, but it seems to be this place is food crazy. Every other shop is a food shop. Oh, you have butchers here, actually. That will get me demonetized, won't it? Another butcher's. Sometimes they have the Chinese sausages hanging up, but sadly not. Ni hao. Oh, wow, look at this. Muslim style, well, Muslim bread, cooked in the clay pot, making it out back. That looks amazing. Sadly, we've just eaten. Otherwise, I'd be trying that. That looks, ni hao. That looks incredible. Incredible, but this is what I mean. Such a rich cultural food scene here. And even across the road, look, we're not in a food area. We're just in a normal high street. And actually, you can see, this is proper local. This was only meant to be a segment to show you 10 seconds of the high street. But bakery, dumplings, another bakery with people buying, locals buying their meat. Local life in Wuhan, right in the heart of Wuhan. But you can imagine what life would have been like back then. These streets would have been empty. Oh, this I need to show you. The Chinese sausage hanging. I guess drying up there. Look, just look at the fat. Look at that. That looks incredible. Incredible. Ni hao. Oh, she doesn't want to be on camera. Oh, shy. Shy, high five, huh? No? Yeah? Go on. Ah, yes. Bye-bye. Shishir. She's saying, I'll translate, she's saying, who the f is that? Bye-bye. There you go, she's warmed up now. Anyway, I was saying, so the parents, I saw him in the corner, before you make any comments, the parents here seem to push the kids. Go say some English. It happens a lot, and you can see the conversation happening sometimes. So to make it less awkward, sometimes I just jump in and say hello, and then everyone's happy. The kid's happy, the parents are happy. Ni hao. Ni hao. I've just stumbled across a market, a seafood, no, I'm kidding, a fruit and veg market and meat market. I just thought I'd show you. Look at the fresh produce, all of the greens, lettuces, Chinese cabbage. Oh, as they fall off. Look at the freshness, look at the greens, all of the herbs, the cabbages, mushrooms, all different types of mushrooms. Ni hao. Onions, look at the onions, size of the onions and the color of the onions, amazing. This is a local place. Normally when you come to markets, you see tourists everywhere. You've just got one in here. For me, look at that. The corn, the color of that corn. They've not kicked me out yet. Bitter melon, peppers, Chinese cabbage, vibrant carrots, more mushrooms, huge mushrooms. We can see tourist sites, guys. We can see things like the Yellow Crane Tower. However, these are the places that I like coming to, seeing a bit of real life. For me, to understand the culture, to understand the people, to understand the country, you need to understand how they eat. And there's no better place to do that than come to a local market. All right, now when you come across a queue like this, when you're walking down the road for a place to eat, you know you have to stop and try that food. I'm not even sure what it is, but it looks like it's a fried donut, split open with shumai, with dumplings placed on the inside. It could be the worst thing ever or the best thing I've ever eaten. 10 yuan, I'm in the queue. Ni hao. Okay, so shishir. So they're fried in the hot oil, come out as the puffy dumplings, or puffy donuts, and then the dumplings placed on the inside, split open. Shishir.
You come from Britain?
UK, yeah, England. You've eaten here before?
Huh?
You eat before?
Yes.
It's good?
Delicious.
Delicious, okay.
Tastes good.
Thank you. It's got his seal of approval. It looks like the most I mean, who came up with that as an idea? But it's popular, so when in Wuhan, you've got to try it. Just look at that. It's like paper thin. It's not even a donut, is it? I wouldn't even know what to call it. It's like a puff. Got to get through the crispy outside first. That is genius. Soft, meaty dumpling on the inside and the crunchy, fried, I'm calling it a donut on the outside. Absolute genius, so good. The best part is those juices from the dumpling seep into the donut and go all gooey. You know what it reminds me of? The inside is like a thick gravy. It reminds me of a British pie, weirdly. I didn't expect to be having that memory here, but it does remember, like it makes me remember, like when you go to the rugby or the football and you buy a pie, it's a little bit like that in terms of flavor, but in terms of quality and in terms of eating experience, it's like 100 times better. Well, I've come to another area of Wuhan just to check it out. It's a tourist hotspot, let's say that, but also architecture which I didn't really expect to find here. Russian-style mansion right in the heart of Wuhan, and it just sums up the rich cultural and trading history of this city. Now, this building is here because two Russian brothers, settled here, and this is their mansion, and they came here and made their money in the tea trade. But this building doesn't really fit in the huge modern city, but it's absolutely beautiful, and that's why everyone is here taking their shots. As ever in China, you have people doing photography, doing photography, photo shoots in front of the pretty site. You can pay them for photos, obviously, and then they have all their props. They have balloons and flowers and all sorts of things. It's big business, it seems. But I mean, I can't really say anything, but I find it quite funny. I find it quite funny that people come here. Often they dress up a lot more than this. I mean, it's cold, maybe that's why, but they dress up and really go to town to come and take these shots, let's say. But yeah, this orange or red brick building is an absolute beaut, isn't it? And talking of absolute beauts, this dog, look at it, beautiful. Wow. Obviously, Such soft coat, wow. But it's got its eyes on one thing, and that's the big version. That is a stunner, but it's absolutely huge. And powerful, as you can see. He's basically leaning back into it. I think I prefer this one. I've just realized the white, beautiful dog, the little one, is there for photo opportunities. Obviously. Wow, look at this. Just away from those European concession buildings is a little, well, is it residential? I guess so. There's a few cafes down here, but it's stunning. Away from the crowds, away from those tourists. I mean, you still have a few touristy things here, of course, but it's not really anyone coming down here. I think maybe more than any city, this is a city of contrast. Wow. Look at this. Hand-carved wooden statues. Very, very pretty. But it's so fascinating just wandering around. I don't really have a plan today in Wuhan, just to wander around. There's a few things on my list that we've been ticking off, but the plan was just to wander around and really get a feel for this city and find little interesting places like this. What is it with this city and nice dogs? Another one. Oh, what? What's wrong? There we go, settle you down. That's all you wanted, wasn't it? Anyway, dog city, Wuhan. If you like dogs, this is your city in China. I've been to Georgia. You would be mistaken to think that you're in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, with some of these buildings, especially in the style. I mean, this one in particular, look at that. That is, for me, reminding me of Georgia, Tbilisi. Interesting. Not something that I expected to find in central China. But the area is nice, away from the tourists. Tree-lined roads again, just such a nice place. Really enjoying my day walking around, eating, finding the food. Oh my God, the food. Now this area, completely different to the historic area that we went to before. This area is genuinely interesting to walk around. Even though they have the tourist street running through it, it is nice. Tree-lined again, with the leaves actually out. The buildings are fascinating. As I say, it's giving me strong Georgia vibes, which makes sense with the Russian influence. But they are just absolutely gorgeous. Nice little cafes. I mean, I'm not drinking coffee, but if I did, sitting down here in one of these spots would be nice. But just wandering around, and not just on the main street, wandering around on the back streets as well, and just finding those old buildings. I presume these have been preserved, maybe even purpose-built, but if you walk around, you can find originals. Sorry, rather than restored. I think that's a better phrase to use. These have probably been restored, but you can also find some of the original buildings as well. It's just interesting to walk around, unlike the other place. All right, another snack. Well, lunch this time, I guess. More noodles, beef noodles, cooked out back. Just happened to be walking by this place again. I think the best thing to do in China is see where's busy. And I think I have a good nose for it. Otherwise, get my food map, of course, and the PDF guide for what you need to eat in these places. But I definitely have a noodle addiction right now, let's say. So I guess I'm in the right place. There's a lot going on in there. Look at them, look how many they have. Stacked up, ready to go. Little confusing. You pay at the desk, and then you get given a card, and I thought I ordered, well, what I've got. And then you take the card to the window, and then they'll cook it for you. But then she was trying to ask me which type of noodles I wanted, and I didn't quite understand that. But we got there in the end. Look at that, you can see those thick wheat noodles, again, absolutely covered in that sauce, so it's difficult to not get it to steam up because they're so hot, straight out of the wok. And then you've got strips, slices of that beef. They look amazing, and as I say, I have a noodle addiction, and it just feels like you can never get enough noodles. So let's dig in. Lunchtime, quick lunch. This cold is such a problem for eating here. And of course you don't get forks, you have to just persevere with it. But everyone else seems to do okay. Maybe they're used to it. A slight kick of chili, rich, meaty, beefy flavor. What I love is they're thick, much thicker than the noodles we had for breakfast. But I should try some of that beef, shouldn't I? Oh yes, fatty slice of beef. Wow. So good. Actually, this one is so rich and it's so beefy and it's so comforting. It reminds me of my Italian grandfather's Italian pasta, the ragu that he used to make every Sunday. Just with more pepper, although he put chili in, so it was a little spicy. So it's very reminiscent of that. Didn't expect to be thinking that in China, but it's scarily similar. Put some Parmesan on it, and it would taste almost the same, which is crazy. And just like that, with a hop, skip, and a jump, we are in the modern Wuhan shopping area. I've got a few things to do, a few things to get, so I'm gonna let you go for the afternoon and I'll catch you guys down by the river. The only thing I would say is, I love Wuhan. I think it's one of my favorite days so far in China, just for exploring around and bumping into people and having good food and everything like that. I didn't mean it to become a food video, but when you're in a place that unexpectedly has so much good food, well, I've got to show you guys, don't I? Anyway, I'm going to do my bits and bobs, and I'll catch you guys down by the Yangtze River, the longest river in China. See you in a sec. Shishi. All right, instead of just going down to the river, why not go across the river? For one, hello, ni hao. For 1 yuan 50, or 1.5 yuan, I don't know how you say it, you can take a riverboat across the river. So why not? It is the Yangtze after all. Walking down, oh wow, view of the skyline and view of the river. This is the incredible Yangtze River, largest river in China, third largest river in the world. And if you know anything about me, which you don't really because I'm just a YouTube channel to you, but if you did know me, you would know I studied geography at university, and seeing things like this is quite cool for me. I didn't really think I'd be coming on a boat, but clearly I wasn't the only one with that idea. I mean, it beats taking a taxi. I didn't quite realize how massive this city was. A taxi anywhere takes quite a while, so it's probably the best way to get across the river. So I don't know if these are tourists or locals, but there's a lot of people, and people on bikes and scooters to go across as well. I just caught her translating, can we make a photo together or a video together? Even better. Hello.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Jisa.
Jisa, I'm Joe.
Jisa.
And you're from Wuhan?
I'm from Jiangxi.
Jiangxi?
对
Okay.
对
I'm from England.
Oh.
Yeah. And you? Jiangxi?
Yes, yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, time to go on. I guess the place to go is upstairs for the views. So these guys are on holiday as well, from Jiangxi. Cool experiences in China, meeting people. They're not afraid to come and say hello, that's what I like. I think if If it was the other way around, I'd be too shy to go and say hello to a stranger. No, that's not true. To be honest, I don't really know where it's going. I just bought a ticket and got on it. I presume it's just going down the river or across the river and we get off there, but I literally have no idea. This is the fun part of travel. Now, one thing I do love on transport in China is the safety videos and the signs. This morning, I saw a sign saying no tossing at the yellow crane tower, and to be honest, I thought it was a good place for it, so I was a bit disappointed. But one I am happy about, no diet. So that's definitely off the cards in China, I think. You've seen that in the videos. But since there's a sign saying no diet, I guess I have to listen, don't I? This is what I mean. You're on board and it literally tells you how to be on board. Oh, you're not allowed to sit there. Take your ticket. Can you have a cigarette? Oh no, you can't smoke. No smoking. Anything else? Oh, no tossing. We can't have tossing. No going through doors which are closed. I just find this funny, as if it wasn't obvious already. A bit late by the time you're on board though, isn't it? And we're off. You can see that tower in the distance and the bridges. So many bridges on the river and over the rivers. Oh, I love it. And just for 16 pence, 16 British pence to come across the river. Imagine that price in London. How much would it cost to take a ferry across the river? It costs more to take the tube across the river, that's for sure. Well, I've got to say, hello.
Hello. Where are you from?
England.
Oh, England.
You? Wuhan.
对.
Yeah?
Yeah. Say hello.
Ha.
Hello.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't smile, but he knew he had to do it. You good? Yeah, look at that. He's good. You good?
Good.
Very cute. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Quick.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, oh, nearly. Ooh, ooh. Nearly got a smile there.
See, bye-bye.
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 Bye.
See what I mean about parents wanting their kids to talk? Anyway, it exceeded my expectations. I thought it was just going to go straight across the river. That's normally what happens, right? But maybe like 5 or 10 minutes actually down the river, which is quite nice. And fantastic views. Fantastic views. Sometimes you just need to follow the flow. Hello. How are you?
How are you?
Good?
Welcome to China.
Thank you so much.
Where are you from?
England.
England.
You?
You China.
Which city? Which city? Chengdu, Shanghai,
湖南.
Hunan,
河南.
Henan.
对.
Okay, nice. Nice to meet you. This is the friendliest ferry in China, it seems. They will open the gates, and us, the cattle, will get off. The friendliest ferry in China. That could be the title of this video, the friendliest city in China. But I'll probably clickbait it. Yeah, okay, yeah, same, similar, yeah. But I am from England,
Oh yeah.
but I live in Portugal. Portugal,
哦，葡萄牙。
yeah.
哦。
So this is cold. Yeah. I was explaining it. I say I'm from England, and I was saying I'm from Portugal. So you were saying, the weather is the same here. Not the same as Portugal.
Have a good time.
Thank you, thank you.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
That was the friendliest ferry ever. Everyone coming up to me and saying hello. People come up to you and say hello anyway, but when the camera's out, a lot more people come up to you and say hello, which is a nice consequence of filming, I must admit. It is quite nice to have these interactions, especially as a solo traveler. So I'm not going to complain, but I think if you were just traveling through China, you're going to get it anyway. At least the photos and the people saying hello, welcome to China. And then obviously I get a lot more saying, what am I doing? Can I be on camera? All of these things. But always friendly, always friendly. And even if they don't quite know how to do it, like sometimes people just stand there and take a photo of me without asking. I think it is always from a friendly state of mind, should we say. I don't think there's anything in it other than them just trying to be nice and get a photo. All right, photo shoot done. Just done about 15 photos with people. I'm gonna head to the hotel and then I'm gonna come back out later this evening and we're gonna go to a little night market area and we'll get dinner and we'll have a look around and we'll see what Wuhan is like after dark. All right guys, evening now. Now I've come to a night market area. To be honest, I'm actually still full from all the food I've eaten today. With the fasting, or at least mostly fasting, my stomach just can't take it anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to eat, but I will show you it anyway. Looks like there's a lot of food here. So I'll walk through and I'll show you. It's called Hubu Alley, and it's completely full of food. Stalls each side. Bit of that cyberpunk vibe as well with the neon lights from Chongqing. You don't see that much of it here, but let's see what they've got. You've got, looks like intestine stuffed with leek. Looks interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. And then we get into the real stuff. What have we got? All sorts of duck products, gizzards, duck heads, fried fish, duck again. Yeah, lots of duck. Pork feet, they actually look good. I love pork feet, and the hock also looks great. This place is just full. I'm okay, thank you. Lots of tasters on the go, but I don't drink tea. Dessert. Oh, this, I'm sure, will be with soy milk, and then you get to choose all your different toppings. Raisins, coconut, sesame seeds, all different jellies and fruit. And then, yeah, like this. And then it's served with soy milk, I'm sure. Got dumplings on the go. You can see them steaming away. That was the type of dumpling, whether that's got rice in, but it had meat. That was the type of dumpling that went in that thing I ate earlier. Got the hot and dry noodles. This is a Wuhanese dish. This is like a rice and omelette. I wouldn't even know what to call it. Slice. And then you have mushrooms and different things underneath. Savory. Looks good. Lots of different types of dumplings again. That's just what you want to see. If you want to buy some pork products, why don't you see the pig?
Come here.
Yeah, exactly. Good English now, I'm okay, thank you. Shishir. Ah, and they just grill it. Ah, I'm okay, I'm okay. Okay, just for you, Shishir. That is good. It's like a pork skin wafer, slightly sweet. That's good. Another big thing here is what they call it, crawfish. Maybe langoustines, I would call them. Well, maybe. They actually are very small. Maybe it's just the tails, but all of this seafood is quite popular here. They look good. Mantis shrimp. There's lots going on. Smiling faces, friendly faces. Obviously I'm not buying, so I'm just walking through, but they don't seem to mind. They're happy to show their stuff. Anyway, to get here, I walked past the river again, and the riverside and the skyline is completely lit up. Looks absolutely incredible. So I'm gonna take you there and show you that. If I get hungry on the way, maybe we'll stop for food. If not, I have to show you this skyline. It's one of the best that we've seen, I think. Right, down by the riverside. That could be a song, couldn't it? You're not gonna see much of me because it's dark here, and I'm hoping you could see the skyline because it is awesome, but I wish I had the big camera because the big camera would do it justice. But that's the compromise for easy editing and easy filming. You have the big bridge that we saw earlier, and then the other bridge. They're both lit up, but look at the skyscrapers all along the river. The tower, now you can see the tower piercing into the sky, but all along here, all along the skyline, all of those skyscrapers are lit up with, well, interesting lights, let's say, and they change from time to time. I don't even know what they represent. They look like they've got buildings on them and plants on them and trees on them and sky. Who knows? If you know what it is, let me know. But yeah, gorgeous. And it's also nice to come to a place, ni hao, hey, where you can walk around in the evening. I love that. That's one of the reasons I love living in Portugal, living in Madeira. It's one of the reasons I like being in Thailand and being in Southeast Asia. It's interesting to walk around in the evening and people watch and see what's happening. Normally it's warm enough. It's a bit chilly here, but it's still interesting to walk around and see what's going on and look at that skyline with interesting views and see what people are up to. It's one of the reasons I don't really like the UK, because you can't really do it that much in the UK, depending on where you are. But there's not that many places where you can do it. Anyway, that is my 24 hours in Wuhan, China. Surreal being here, but a cool city, a friendly city, delicious food, a food city. That I didn't expect. Not any of the negative things that you've heard or remember from that time. It's a place worth visiting, I would say, especially if you have a hungry belly. Right, tomorrow, we've got a 4-hour train ride to Shanghai. And I think I'm going to bring you with me on that one, so I'll see you tomorrow, or in your case, in the next video. Catch you later, guys.